Hey everyone, we are officially live. I'm so excited to get started for our fourth and final workshop of the semester. It's kind of crazy to think that we are at the final workshop of the semester. I feel like our first workshop was so recently. It's kind of insane to think that our semester has flown by so quickly, but it has, and it's kind of crazy. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. So if you're watching the recording of this workshop, you can skip ahead about 5 minutes. I'm going to post in the chat area. Boom. Yeah, we're gonna get started in just a moment. Well, just a moment, just like 4 minutes from now. But I'm so excited, so grateful to have you here as mentors throughout the semester. It's kind of crazy to think that this is the fourth and final workshop. Yeah, I mean, I feel like just doing that first semester workshop so recently. It's kind of insane. With it being around the holiday time, there's a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for. I'm thankful and grateful for you all as mentors this past semester. I know you took your time out of your day, you took your time out of your fall to mentor a student, and it's a pretty cool, pretty rewarding area thing to do. It's really impactful, it's really helpful, it can really change people's lives. And as students go through these crazy circumstances, from remote work to just all these different things that are going on in their worlds and in their lives, having someone like yourself being in their life and being a mentor to them is so powerful. So anyways, introduce yourself in the chat. We'd love to know who's here. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes. So we'll get going in just a moment. If you need a bathroom break, you can go ahead and do that. But thanks for being here. I'm so excited to get started. I'd love to know, is anybody traveling anywhere fun for Thanksgiving? Is anybody doing any fun plans? Does anybody have any cool Thanksgiving rituals or traditions or routines? You know, my sister's fiance, I guess soon to be brother-in-law, you know, what he does with his family, and I did it one time with him, is he shucks oysters. And that's like his morning breakfast Thanksgiving tradition. It's very strange, but it's very cool. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fascinating. But I'd love to learn if y'all have any Thanksgiving traditions or travel plans or anything. I'd love to learn about it. Post it in the comments section. Any oyster eating on Thanksgiving morning, or I don't know, anything else cool? Would love to learn about it. Love to know if you're doing any fun travel plans, or if you're renting out a cabin. I've heard of some people do that. That's always fun, to rent out a cabin and be with family all in one place. Although sometimes when you get it to the third, fourth, fifth day, it can become a lot, but still a very fun thing to do. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. But thanks for being here. Thanks for being a mentor. Thanks for being an active participant in the mentor program over the course of the semester. I'd love to have you, by the way, again, as a mentor next semester, if you're open to it. We need mentors. We love having mentors. And if you're thinking to yourself, you know, I want to make maybe a career transition, or I want to maybe get some new perspectives, I'd love to encourage you to sign up for our Alumni Mentee program. Essentially, you get paired with another mentor. We run workshops on how to manage conflict in the workplace, how to determine when the right time is to switch jobs, how to determine when the right time is to pursue additional education, how to transition into a managerial role, like so many things we cover. It's a lot of fun. It's very cool. If you're interested or so inclined in participating, I'd highly encourage it. I think you'd get a lot out of the Alumni Mentee program next semester. We're going to start in about 30 seconds and we'll get going from there. But yeah. Love if you could introduce yourself in the chat. All right, it is officially 6 o'clock in Austin, Texas, meaning it's 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 o'clock on the West, and 5 o'clock somewhere in Utah and Colorado. And but yeah, let's dive in. Everybody, thank you all for being here this evening. I'm so excited, so grateful to have you in here for this fourth and final workshop of the semester. So there's a couple things that I want to cover here. There's a couple of things that I want to discuss with you all. So one, this workshop is going to be about 15 minutes with some Q&A. If you have any Qs, I'll provide the As. One thing I want to mention is to please remember to input your feedback for your mentor meetings on the AIM dashboard. Just go into our site, log in. You'll be prompted to provide some feedback on your mentor meetings. It should take less than 2 minutes. It's really just helps us understand who's meeting, who's not meeting. The other thing I'm going to ask from you is at the end to ask for your feedback about how your experience was through the mentor program over the course of the semester. Please input that in there. It is available on your dashboard. If you could get that done by early December, that'd be fantastic. It'll take you a couple minutes to do, but it'll be super valuable just to allow us to know what was really great about your experience, what could be improved. It just gives us great feedback. One other bit of housekeeping, if you think to yourself, man, I would love to have a mentor program in my company, or I would love to participate in an executive mastermind group and connect with other leaders to gain objectivity and have a group of people that can help me out, or you think like, man, I'm a manager, I love to know more about my people, reach out to us. We've got tools, we've got groups, we've got really cool programs that can help you in your company setting. For leaders, for companies, for people all over the organization. If you're interested or so inclined, please reach out, support@ambition-in-motion.com. Emily can connect you with me. We can set up a conversation. We can see if what we're working on might be a fit. So for this workshop, what we're going to do is we're going to cover how to continue your relationship with your student, even after the formal program is over. And how to help students find fulfillment through what they're going through right now in their lives. I'm so sorry. My dog is barking. I'm going to let him loose. So then he stops. Give me 1 sec. All right. You're pretty buddy. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. I've got a baby puppy, and he is just a handful. Anytime your significant other shows up at home, it is bananas time, and that is what's going on right now. But anyways, what we're going to cover during this workshop is we're going to cover how to continue your relationship with your student even after the formal program is over, how to help your student find fulfillment through what they are going through right now in their lives, any questions that can help stimulate that conversation. And then the final step of the program for the semester, which is just completing your final assessment. But let's dive into the 3 keys for success in terms of being a mentor, just the 3 keys to being successful in any mentor relationship, but really I find to be anything: strategy, story, state. I know this may seem repetitive. I know that I've talked about it in every workshop, but it is so powerful. It is really helpful. So let's dive into that. The 3 keys to being successful in anything, especially whether it be a mentor relationship, personal relationship, any relationship for that matter. Strategy, story, state. I said that in reverse order of importance. Your state is the most critical thing. What is the state that you are bringing into this meeting, this conversation, this scenario, this situation? What kind of energy you're bringing in? Are you coming in low energy, or are you coming in high energy? Are you intentional about the way that you are showing up for the meetings you've got? Because if you're coming in low energy, you're going to give off that vibe. People are going to reciprocate that, and it's not likely to give off the feelings you want to give off. So I want to encourage you to get into a positive vibe. So let's go ahead and let's do that right now. On the count of 3, what I want you to do is I want you to stand up. I want you to shake it out. I want you to scream at the top of your lungs. I want you to let it loose. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. I want you to shake it out. I want you to shimmy loose. I want you to let it go. Get the legs going. Get the arms going. Get the body going. Get the chest going. Get it all out crazy. On the count of 3, I want you to scream at the top of your lungs. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Just let it loose. Let it go. Let it out. Oh my gosh. I love doing that. Gosh, I was feeling a little bit of down energy on myself today. And God, even doing that energy just like lifts you up. I just want to pound my chest like I'm King Kong almost. But it makes you feel good. And it's crazy. What this does is it sends endorphins to our brains. It gets our blood flowing. It makes us feel better about ourselves, about our lives, about what we're about to do. And it can change our state in a matter of seconds. Next thing is your story. What is the story that you tell yourself for why you're going to be successful? You're going to go off. This is going to be the end of the semester, but I think that there's some really great imparting wisdom from these workshops that you could apply in your work, to your colleagues, to your professionals, to coworkers, to anybody that you work with. What is the story you tell yourself? I want this to be a confidence booster. If you're someone who struggles with confidence, you're someone who's feeling like you're faking it till you're trying to make it. Excuse me. If you're suffering from imposter syndrome, use this as an opportunity to tell yourself a story, change that narrative, change that paradigm, change that vision for success. You're a mentor to a student, but think about a mentor for yourself. Who is driving you forward? Who's helping you achieve the things you want to achieve in your life and in your career? I really want you to think intentionally about it. I really want you to think, what is the story for why I'm going to be successful in my life and in my career? Strongly encourage that. Last key, strategy. Why are you going to be successful for anything that you do, whether that means you're a mentor, you're a colleague, professional, manager, leader, husband, wife, dad, mother, anything in your world? What is the strategy you're going to do to be successful? I mean, because it's not a one size fits all strategy. You're going to have a lot of things in your life where you're going to be encountering, what do I need to do to be successful? There's multiple ways to crack that nut. And for a mentorship perspective, I'm going to provide some guidance, some suggestions here today. But I want you to think even broader, even bigger about that. What can I do to be better? But before we dive into those strategies, I want to see if y'all have any questions. I'm going to check out the comment section. Hey, Janice. Hey, Serena. Thanks for introducing yourselves. Thanks for being here. I'd also love to ask, are you doing anything fun for, oh, hey, Dr. Thorpe, thanks for being here. I'd love to know, is anybody doing anything fun for Thanksgiving? Post it in the comment section. Any fun routines, anything that you do that's interesting or unique, or you just spending time with family, would love to learn about it, post in the comment section. Okay, cool. Strategy time. All right. So first, let's talk about how to continue your relationship with your student even after the formal program is over. One thing I love to do, because I mean, obviously the goal is that you and your student have at least 3 conversations over the course of the semester. But nothing sets the tone like taking action and setting up a follow-up conversation even after the formal program is over. You might say, hey, you know what? What would you think about scheduling a conversation in January? See if they're open to that. By taking action, by actually putting the meeting on the calendar, by scheduling it, you are conveying that you want this relationship to last, that you want this relationship to continue on even beyond just the semester. And it's something that's really powerful, and it's something that you can do to be really a significant part in this person's life. The next thing I love to do is ask your student how you can help them next semester. You know, another question I like to even ask on top of that is, what aspects of your next steps could use more clarity, and how, what aspects of your next steps could use more clarity that you feel a little unsure of? I love asking that question because it helps you better understand your student and helps them verbalize areas that they want to shore up that they may not be fully confident in that are going to work the way they want it to work. I'm a huge fan of that question. It's a great way to better, deeper understand that. And then there's a great other avenue for following up and reconnecting that follow-up semester. And then I love to ask that student if he or she is interested in connecting with anyone that you might be able to facilitate introductions. I mean, it's a powerful thing to do, to facilitate introductions. It's a great way to keep your network up to date and incorporating what you're doing in your world. And if you have the ability, if you know somebody, or if they recognize that you're connected with someone on LinkedIn that you could introduce them to, it can't hurt to make an introduction. It is so powerful, and it can really help expand your relationship with that student because you were that caveat, you were that catalyst to open up their door to new opportunities, and you never know what they'll end up discovering from that. And it's a great way to help your student. So the next part I want to chat about is helping your student find fulfillment within their work. I'm going to take actually a moment to pause, see if y'all have any questions, comments. Looks like no additional questions, comments. Cool. So I'm gonna talk about how to help your student find fulfillment in their career, in their path, in their lives, what they're working towards. So I've got 5 core questions that I love to ask to help your student find fulfillment. The first one is, what rewards await you for moving through this challenge? This is a great question to ask because what this question does is it helps you better understand your student and helps your student really think about, what do I want to get? Like, what is the goal at the end of this rainbow? Like, what is the thing that I'm working towards? Because I think so often it can be so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of the motions of what we think we should be doing, but never really thinking to ourselves, like, what is our reward for doing all this? Why are we doing this? What do we stand to gain from doing all of these things? The second question I like to ask is, what will be the cost of failing to work through this challenge? This is a great question to ask because so often people are much more willing to do things to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. And what I mean by that is, if we're only thinking about the rewards, if we think, I didn't end up getting that great outcome, it's okay, I'm cool with resting on my laurels, that is going to create opportunities for people just to kind of stagnate. But if we think about what is the cost of failing through the work through this challenge, what this does is it starts to help a student formulate, oh, wow, like there are consequences to my action or lack thereof. And therefore, I need to really think about, what do I want from this? What do I not want to have happen to me if I don't work through this? The third question I like to ask is, what might be the impact of your actions? So it's a great question to ask because it allows them to really think about what is in reality, what might be the outcome if I'm able to act. Like ultimately, I know what the ultimate reward is. I know what the costs are. But now, if I can at least take some form of action, even small baby steps, I can get to a point where I'm really improving my abilities and my skills and what I'm trying to work on and work through. The fourth question I like to ask is, what will be the impact of not taking any action? If I decide to stagnate, or if I say, hey, I'm going to wait to do this at a later date, like the comparison I like to think about is working out. You see those people where they work out sporadically. And when they do, it's a 3-hour marathon workout where they are just chugging and running and pushing and working so hard. And then they go a month and a half without working out at all. And then you see those other people where they're like, you know what, hey, I'm going to do a mini, teeny, tiny 2-minute workout, but I'm going to do it every single day. Those people are in much better shape, those that can do the consistent workout, than those that are running these crazy marathons, but sporadically. And why? Is because small actions every single day consistently lead to big outcomes and results. I'm a big fan of this book called Atomic Habits. That's more or less the sentiment of it. Small things regularly lead to big outcomes over time. So by asking what will be the impact of not taking any action, that helps them really realize, okay, I might be negatively impacted by this if I don't take that action. And the fifth question I like to ask is, what are you willing to commit to so then you can make a change? This is something that as a mentor, it's a great question to ask because it allows you to more or less help hold them accountable. It says, hey, what are you willing to commit to? It helps them verbalize, think about it, run it through their brain and identify, wow, okay, this is what I can commit to. This is what I cannot commit to. And it ultimately helps them work through the challenges that might be ahead of them. But ultimately, if you can ask them those 5 questions, you can really help them find fulfillment with what they're trying to accomplish with their lives, with their college careers, with their professional careers. It's a great way to help your student. Cool. So if you have any questions, post in the comments section. The last and final step of this program, completing the post-program assessment. It's on your dashboard, which will be available. It's available to you, should be available to you right now. Please complete it by early December. I love to have you in our program next semester. I'm so grateful to have had you as a mentor this past semester. I mean, being a mentor for students is so critical. We know that students who have a mentor are nearly 3 times more likely to thrive in their lives compared to students who don't. And I know you might think like, oh, this is only 1 semester of mentorship. Like, how could have my impact really played a big part in this person's life? I'm telling you, it does, and it has, and it will continue to. It's almost like sometimes with kids, where you have that little subtle conversation or those interactions where you think they're not really that big of an impact. And then all of a sudden you find out 5, 10, 15 years later that it had a really big impact. These conversations, these mentor experiences have bigger impacts that transform much bigger than you may realize. And I just want to let you know that being here, being there for these students really is powerful, really big and impactful. And you should be commended for your work. And I'm really grateful that you've been a mentor this past semester. If I love to have you mentor next semester. I love to, if you're thinking about making maybe a career transition, I'd encourage you to sign up for our Alumni Mentee program. It's a great way to learn about how to transition into management, how to determine when the right time is to switch jobs, how to determine when the right time is to pursue additional education, and how to manage conflict in the workplace. And just really work through some of the challenges of determining what your next step might be. If you are leading a team, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'd love to have some resources, I'd love to have some support, or I'd love to have a fellow executive to work through. We've got an executive mentor program that is really great. It's a really great way to connect with other leaders. We've got obviously our corporate mentor programs where you can connect your team together and really learn about how you can break down some of those communication styles that happen at work. And then we created this insight software, which is super cool. It allows you to better understand your direct reports based on the feedback that they're giving you at work. Anyways, it's been awesome working with you this past fall semester. I'm so grateful to have had you in this program, and I'm so glad to have been able to work with you and had the opportunity to work with you. If you have any questions about anything at all, please feel free to reach out. Emily's email can be found at support@ambition-in-motion.com. If you've got any questions, concerns, challenges, anything at all, please feel free to reach out to her. Overall, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for you. Have